Also, at the same time, there are cases of recurring injuries, like it happened to you, back spasm, Rohit, Bhuvaneshwar, Jadeja. So, what do you attribute this? Is it too much of cricket, or is it overtraining, or is it burnout? What do you pinpoint this to it? Huh?
Yeah, look, I mean, our focal point was obviously to be as fit as possible, to be the fittest version of ourselves. But the reality of the situation is, we do play a lot of cricket, and there's no denying that. And my case, for example, I mean, as much as I take pride in, being absolutely fit at all times, but you do obviously take a lot of things for granted as well. The fact that I've been playing three formats in the IPL since 2012 regularly, for the last 10 years, is almost a thing that's taken for granted, that I will more or less feature in every game that India plays. But that is not how sport works, unfortunately. And same is the case with people who you have mentioned just now, who played a lot of cricket for us for 4, 5, 6 years straight. Jadeja obviously features in most of the games that we play. So these injuries are a natural occurrence. I think there has to be the right balance between the quantity and the intensity, obviously, that you play with. You obviously want to compete at top intensity, so quantity becomes even more important. And more so now with playing in environments where we are restricted most of the time. I think these things are already being discussed and being considered, and I think things are going to improve more and more as we move forward, and more space created for people who play all the formats of the game regularly. So this is the only way that you can manage it. But yeah, it's very important to manage these things also, because you don't want to lose important players in important games, and eventually the team will suffer because of it. So yeah, these are the few things that I have observed that have led to niggles that you see occurring now at a regular basis with people.
Hi Virat, welcome back. You have spoken about how personal records do not bother you much and it is always about making the team win. However, this is probably the first time in your career that there has been talk around regarding your own form. How do you ensure that you follow the right process and the talk on the outside does not play with your headspace?
It's not the first time. Let's not you know get away from the reality too much. It's happened a few times in my career. England 2014 was one of those phases. But look, the thing is that I don't kind of look at myself from the lens that the outside world looks at me with. And eventually, the standards that we are talking about today, that I'm being compared with, have been set by myself. So they are not an occurrence from outside. And more than anyone else, I take a lot of pride in wanting to do the best thing for the team that I can, and wanting to perform regularly for the team, and hence I've been able to do that for a long period of time. You have to understand, in sports sometimes things do not go the way you want them to go, but at the end of the day, I realize as a player, as a batsman, that I've been involved in very important moments for the team over the last calendar year or so. And for me, that is a matter of a lot of pride, that I've been a part of very important partnerships when the team needed me. And eventually those moments have been crucial for us in many test matches. So sometimes your focal point has to shift. If all the time you're going to look at yourself and judge yourself on the basis of numbers and milestones, I don't think you'll ever be content or happy with what you're doing. And I take a lot of pride and happiness in the process that I'm following, and I'm at peace with how I'm playing, and what I'm being able to do for the team when there is a tricky scenario. And as long as I'm doing that and taking a lot of pride and motivation to be in those moments, I have nothing else to worry about, because the reality of the situation is that you eventually want to make impact performances for the team. And my best effort is always to do that, and I truly believe that I don't need to prove anything to anyone. It's just that when you are in a place where I am, you are constantly going to be judged, and that is just the job of the outside world. I don't look at myself like that.
So please sarakabara, sabarakara, sarak, whatever. Okay, thank you.